Hi, children. My name is Robin Graves, and I'll be your host today again for World According to Graves. Um, Before I get started, I've got to make mention. I get all kinds of excuse me, goddamn chair. I get all kinds of advice from people, and I was told uh, last night that I should stop trying to pander to Pepsi and I should do Sprite. Do Sprite. That sounds like a bathroom problem. Hey guys, excuse me, I gotta go do a Sprite. All right. No movie for you today, Mike. Oh man, it's been interesting. Hold on, let me get a drink of my non-Sprite. Anyway, um, I didn't plan on being here today. I've already done two this week, and I know some of you are going, three? Yeah, three this week. Interesting things keep happening. I keep having to put off what I'm wanting to do on the usual Thursdays because interesting stuff keeps happening. Um, I smell desperation in the air. Oh my God. I mean, the left's disdain for order is blatant almost. I was sitting there watching rewatching the impeachment inquiry, or as some people call it inquiry. I don't care how it's pronounced. It was still a shit show. And Nadler, let me congratulate you. You made me right again. Jesus. I mean, they're showing the disregard and hatred for order by desperately trying to remove a duly elected president simply because they don't like him. Honestly, he's blocking their a lot of their agenda, especially the thing about like I mentioned last show I did last video, the thing about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Once Ruthie Baby is shoved off the mortal coil, they're not going to be able to put a liberal in place. Because Trump's president. Trump's going to make a nomination, an appointment of another person that's non-liberal, and they can't get rid of Kavanaugh because he's already entrenched in this. So far, they've failed twice. This it's funny what they're trying to do. They're eating themselves alive. Democrats, you're giving a Christmas present to Donald Trump. He's going to win the 2020 election. You guys have already made sure of this. Jesus Christ. People on the right, senators and congressmen on the right don't like him much either. There's a lot of them that don't like him, but they'll support him because he is a Republican. To a point, they'll support him. But let me. I don't mean to go off on a tangent. I'm sorry about that, guys. Uh, this whole thing with the Ukraine, the phone call that was made where he was supposed to be some quid pro quo going on. They thought that Trump was going to panic and blink and try to block the transcripts. And I got news for them. Trump didn't blink. He looked him right in the eye and said, "Fine, take them. They're all unredacted. Nothing is secret here. Take them all." He authorized the totally unredacted transcript of the conversation. Supposedly, according, yes, this is always happening. Windows 10, it sucks. There's so much that has gone wrong for the Democrats so far. Just on this one alone, he didn't blink. In fact, he stared him in the eye and said, "Here, take it. Go for it. You're big boys." And they were going, supposedly it showed favors for investigating Joe Biden and his son's illegal dealings with Ukraine. It showed no favors, no quid pro quo, nothing. It showed zero. Yes, guys, that's zero. I could have went like this. I could have showed a big O. Excuse me. I don't want to be racist. It showed a big zero. So I'm wondering what they're trying to pull now. What they're going to pull next. Supposedly now that it is showing nothing that they're complaining about. Let me get this straight. Jesus. I don't have any Casterwake running around to keep you guys entertained, so I got to keep you entertained. How dare these people think I should be working? Supposedly now they need the testimony from the supposed whistleblower, even though no evidence so far from the telephone call to the Ukrainian Prime Minister showed anything. This is turning into another Mueller investigation. There's no evidence of anything. This is just an accusation by a third, fourth, or fifth party. It's all hearsay. Supposedly they've got the whistleblower who's going to say, "Well, yes, he did say all of this." Well, why isn't it on the transcript? Every phone call that the president makes is recorded. It's put into the National Archive. Uh, there was nothing wrong. I said this from the very beginning. There was nothing wrong. The whistleblower, after a lot of investigation that I've done, a lot of digging, and everything, I was planning on doing this one, doing some on this Tuesday, but I wanted to develop some more. I wanted to see where it went by today, and I was correct in doing that. The whistleblower so far, they've mentioned no names. They won't even say where this whistleblower works at, other than the intelligence community, which, knowing our government, not much intelligence. I did find out that this person was a Hillary supporter, which makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It seems every Hillary supporter out there is out to kill anybody who isn't a supporter. Supposedly, like I said, they need the testimony of the supposed whistleblower. They built the impeachment inquiry on anonymous hearsay, secondhand complaints. Um, it's like the police going on hearing, "Oh, somebody said this, so and so did something wrong." There are three things that you need for any kind of suit like this, any kind of legal proceeding like this. For a president to be impeached, he has to do something that is criminal. To be convicted of anything criminal, or to even be to be considered to be convicted, you need three things. You need motive, opportunity, and the smoking gun. They have none of this. They've never had any of this. The Mueller investigation was built on a phony dossier that was bought and paid for by Hillary Clinton to get rid of any opposition. Trump was her main opposition. She couldn't buy him off like she did Bernie Sanders. So she did this instead. Early on, it was found out where this came from, that it was phony. But they investigated anyway. They wasted your money and my money on a phony investigation, just like they did on this. Just like they did on Stormy Daniels. Just like they did on Trump's business dealings. They have pushed this point to the point that, let me move my notes again, okay? It's weird using notes again. There was just so much information. I had to do this. There was so much supposition that they just couldn't help themselves. They're like dogs chasing a car. They don't know why they're chasing it. They're just chasing it. The main thing is that Trump did make mention to the prime minister, to look into former parts of the administration since Biden stopped the prosecution of his son for business dealings there. Excuse me. Biden even bragged about it on video on YouTube. Trump talked to the Ukrainian prime minister about this. There was no quid pro quo involved. There was no pay to play, which Hillary is famous for. But nobody said anything to her. Nobody wants to do anything to her because she's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump wasn't part of the good old boy network that normally spends their lives in politics getting rich off of you and me. Even though they said there was no quid pro quo, Adam, I'm a piece of shit, Schiff, proudly proclaimed. Now they're saying quid pro quo isn't necessary, even though it was the crux of the entire investigation. The Washington Post actually said the key issue would be proof of quid pro quo. They have no issue of this. They have no case Zero. But they're still going to waste your money and mine and our time doing a phony investigation into phony charges that they cannot prove. For the past 3 years, the entire Democrats party has been involved in crap like this. There's no quid pro quo, so that doesn't count. The transcript killed the case. Now they want to use the whistleblower's second, third, maybe even fourth hand knowledge as evidence, using hearsay evidence. That's about par for the course. Now, Pelosi was actually on the news and proclaimed that no one is above the law. Okay, I'm going to touch on something very interesting here. Robert Menendez, Dick Durbin, and Patrick Leahy went to the Ukraine during the collusion investigation and did exactly what Pelosi is blaming Trump for. During the Russian collusion investigation, they actually have gotten to the point at this point now that after the Russian collusion investigation, nothing came up. They investigated payments to Stormy Daniels. Nothing came up. They investigated Trump's business dealings. Nothing came up. But they're to the point now where they're throwing their hands in there, going, "We don't know what else to do. Let's use hearsay evidence about a supposed telephone conversation." You'd figure after the first or second time they'd give up, but so far, no. 3 years have been wasted trying to get rid of a duly elected president, throwing away our rule of law, throwing away the faith in the American people. These people that are starting all of this are elites who don't want you and me, the little people, to decide who runs the government. They think they're the only ones who are qualified to decide. And they're mad because their choice, Hillary Clinton, a known lifetime politician, didn't win. A total nobody in the political world won. It's, they want him impeached. They want to impeach him so bad that from day one, all we've heard is obstruct, 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 impeach 45. You ever wonder why? 538 even said since Mueller's testimony to Congress on July 24th, 2019, 33.5% were for impeachment. 59.5% were against. Impeachment is not a popular thing. It throws our decisions of who we want to run this country for us into question. An impeachment is a very serious thing. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't give you the right to impeach them. You can't impeach a president because you didn't like him. There are a majority of people who didn't like Obama. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, if he wasn't popular, why did he win his second term? Because the Republican Party shit the bed and threw Mr. Magic Panties up as a candidate. Okay, that was the Republican Party's fault. This is why I don't have no respect for either party. None, either. That's one of the main reasons. So Obama won a second term. This is like what the Democrats are doing right now with their choice. Their choice is Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden, one of the two. Joe Biden has senility. Elizabeth Warren, she's phony as hell. These are two people that are going to be make it through the primaries. Everybody else is disposable. Beto proved it. So anyway, let me get off the rant here. Let me get back on the subject. Quinnipiac showed during their little polling, showed 62 opposed an impeachment, while 28% were for. Now you're saying, well, this was a while back. No, this is October 24th of this year. How much more recent can you get? So far, the Democrat Party has pretty much shot themselves in the foot with everything. The only thing they're doing is they're isolating the American people. They're alienating them. They're making you feel like, well, your decision doesn't count, whatsoever. It's their decision. They get to decide. You don't get to. If they don't like a president, they'll just throw him out. So what's the use? It's crazy. The only answer I have for all of this is that they're being driven insane by their hatred and desperation. They hate Trump so bad, they're going to do anything they can to get rid of him. To hell with you. To hell with what your choice is. To hell with what he's done. To hell with any good he's done. I hear all this stuff from the left. Well, he's done nothing. Yeah, he's done quite a bit. We have record high employment numbers right now. We have record Latino employment, record black employment. White employment for teens is at a record high. We have a 50-year. We have not had employment like this in 50 years. Businesses are booming. The economy is going up. Yeah, you say, well, the stock market dropped 2 points. How high has it gone up in the past 3 years? How high did it get? It broke records. And you want to throw a fit if it drops 2 points. Where was it 3 years ago today? Where was it compared to what it is now? If you're going to sit there and point fingers, make sure you're pointing them in the right direction. Yeah, the stock market's going to go up and down. It's going to fluctuate. But it's nowhere near as low as it was 3 years ago. I was going to make a big deal out of this, honestly. I was going to show my disdain for the whole government. All I can say is right now is that the Democrat Party has shown that it's not for the American people. It has never been for the American people. This is what they would rather spend their time doing. Investigating false charges, inventing new charges. It's along the lines of, well, we can't prosecute him for murder, but we'll investigate him for it anyway. Maybe something will come up, something that we could use against him. What's he done? What has Trump done that's illegal? What's he done that's impeachment worthy? Nothing. Yes, he's coarse. He's boorish. He's arrogant. But he's the president we needed to get this country back up and going. No, he's not for illegal immigration. He's not for opening the borders. I really don't think a majority of Americans are. But that's not for me to say. I'm not a Democrat. I don't have the say. So far, all of her Democrats saying, well, nobody's above the law. How about Hillary Clinton? What about some of the stuff Obama did? What about Nancy Pelosi turning against the American people? What about Maxine Waters calling for public discord because a president she didn't like got elected? There are a lot of things I could point fingers that the Democrat side did. A lot of politicians on the Democrat side pulled a lot of things that were wrong. Obstructing a sitting president, calling for public discord because I don't like him. You cause problems. I don't like that president. You need to cause problems for me. The obstruction. Yeah, I can go on, but I won't. There's no use. We all know what's been going on. So, look, guys, I'm going to call this one off short today. I have time today to do things. I just need to get this up and published and posted on, oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different public media, social media platforms. God, it's hard being popular. Anyway, look, guys, I'm going to tell you one last time. Saturday, I will be at September Saturdays in Douglasville, Georgia. There, it's right in the front of the courthouse, literally on the courthouse grounds. This thing's huge. It's big. I'm going to be in a few other places in the coming month or so. I'll have those for you next week. I'll list them all. And come out and see me. Come out. I'll be doing the man on the street interviews. I'll be talking to a lot of different people. I'll be either cruising around or sitting behind some friends of mine have a funnel cake booth there. I'll be sitting in that area, probably behind them underneath the trees in the shade. It's going to be hot Saturday. So I'll tell you what, come see me, hang out with me. Who knows, you might be on the next episode. I'll have release forms ready for you. Everything. You guys take care of yourselves. I love every one of you. Leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this. And most of all, talk hard and never stop. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll catch you next week.